Welcome to Life Stories, where we explore unforgettable tales of love, mystery, and the unexpected. Today's story follows Emily and Daniel, a couple on the brink of their dream wedding. But as eerie dreams and unsettling events begin to unravel, their love and trust are put to the ultimate test, with a mysterious presence in their lives and secrets waiting to surface. Will their bond withstand the challenges ahead? Don't miss this captivating journey of emotions and resilience. Subscribe to Life Stories to begin today's adventure. And remember to like, share, and comment on your thoughts. Let's dive in. The dream started not long after Daniel proposed to me. At first, I dismissed them as my mind playing tricks. But as the weeks passed, they returned, eerily consistent. In these dreams, a massive snake slithered into my space, its scales glinting under an unseen light. It would circle me, staring into my eyes with an intensity that left me paralyzed. There was never any attack, just its unrelenting gaze, as though it were studying me. Then I would wake, heart pounding and drenched in sweat. 3 months into these dreams, I began to dread sleep. That night was no different. The snake appeared again, and as usual, I jolted awake. But this time, I wasn't just shaken by the dream. There was a sharp, high-pitched sound piercing my ears, like a siren screeching directly into my brain. It hurt so badly that I clutched my head, hoping it would pass. Then Alfred, my loyal Labrador, began barking furiously, his deep voice echoing through the room. I stumbled out of bed, my head still throbbing from the noise, and turned on the light. Alfred was growling now, his eyes fixed on the window. I approached cautiously and peeked out. What I saw froze me in place. A large snake, eerily similar to the one in my dreams, was crawling over the fence at the edge of our yard. Its movements were almost graceful, its head dipping slightly as it disappeared into the shadows. I leaned forward, trying to see more, but it was gone. Am I hallucinating? I whispered to myself, trembling as I returned to bed. My mind raced with questions, but exhaustion eventually pulled me back into uneasy sleep. The next morning, the sun was already high in the sky when my phone's ringtone pulled me from slumber. Groggy, I reached for it, squinting at the screen. A smile tugged at my lips when I saw Daniel's name. He had a way of making everything feel a little lighter. X up, boy. I greeted him playfully, trying to shake off the lingering unease from the night before. Daniel chuckled on the other end. Who's your boy? You'd better go brush your teeth before calling me that. He always knew how to tease me. All right. I laughed. So, what's up? I'm finalizing the payment for our honeymoon hotel today, he said. It's in Switzerland. Remember, once it's done, there's no going back and picking a different one. Don't worry, I assured him. I've already chosen. It's perfect. He paused, and I could hear the warmth in his voice. Good. I can't wait to see you. Before we hung up, I mentioned the dream again. It came back last night, I said, my tone more serious now. Emily, he sighed. You're a zoologist. You spend your days watching and studying wildlife. And you're glued to Nat Geo Wild. Of course. Snakes are going to pop into your dreams. Relax. The only snake you're getting is me. And it's a week away. I burst into laughter, despite myself. You're impossible, I said, cutting the call mid-laugh to keep him guessing. It was moments like these that made me grateful for him, his humor, his steadiness, his ability to make even the strangest fears feel manageable. Yet, as much as I wanted to brush it all off, the unease lingered. That high-pitched sound, Alfred's barking, the snake outside my window, it was too much to ignore. Was my mind playing tricks? Or was something deeper at play? I spent the morning busying myself with chores, trying to shake off the heaviness in my chest. Cooking always helped, so I headed to the kitchen to prepare vegetable soup. As I chopped vegetables, the same high-pitched sound returned. Sharp and jarring, like a hiss slicing through the air. I froze, knife in hand, scanning the room for any signs of danger. But nothing was there. The sound faded just as quickly as it had come. "What is happening to me?" I murmured, shaking my head. Maybe I should get checked. I tried to focus on cooking. But when I turned on Nat Geo Wild, my usual background noise, it felt eerily different. The program featured a snake attacking a deer. Its movements calculated. Its power overwhelming. The way it crushed its prey's bones made my skin crawl. And for a moment, I felt as though I were watching something personal. Something real. Then the smell of burning soup snapped me out of it. "Ah, my soup," I shouted, rushing back to the kitchen. As I salvaged what I could, my thoughts returned to the dream and the snake outside my window. Were these coincidences? Or was there something I wasn't seeing? I couldn't shake the feeling that my life was inching toward something. Something I didn't yet understand. And for the first time, I wasn't sure if I was ready to find out. Daniel's day started like any other at his bustling tech office, where deadlines loomed and the buzz of innovation filled the air. He thrived in the environment, always on the move, managing projects, and leading his team with confidence. That afternoon, his secretary walked in with a visitor. "Mr. Daniel. This is Miss Clara, the new assistant director transferred from our San Francisco branch," she announced. Clara stepped forward with an air of confidence. Her elegant demeanor impossible to ignore. She extended her hand to Daniel, her voice smooth as silk. "Good afternoon, Mr. Daniel. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. I've heard great things about your leadership." Daniel shook her hand, offering a polite smile. "It's nice to have you here, Miss Clara. I'm sure your talents will be a great addition to the team." Clara returned the smile, her gaze lingering. "Thank you. I look forward to working closely with you. Perhaps you could give me a tour of the company?" "Of course," Daniel replied, rising from his chair. He opened the door for her as they exited, noting her poised walk and sharp confidence. As they moved through the office, Daniel introduced her to various departments, showing her the intricate workings of the company. "You seem to know everyone here," Clara said, her tone admiring. "I like to stay connected with my team," Daniel explained. "It keeps everyone motivated and focused on our goals." Clara smiled, her expression playful. "By any chance, Mr. Daniel, are you single?" Daniel chuckled awkwardly, caught off guard by her directness. "Actually, I'm engaged. I'll be getting married next week." "Well, I had to ask," Clara said with a light laugh. "A man like you rarely stays single for long. Congratulations on your engagement." "Thank you," Daniel said, relieved that the conversation had steered back to professionalism. After the tour, Clara expressed her gratitude and left to finalize her relocation details. But her confident demeanor lingered in Daniel's mind. As he returned to his office, he couldn't help but shake his head. "What a bold woman," he muttered to himself. Meanwhile, at her home, Emily was busy preparing lunch. She tried to distract herself from the lingering unease that had been with her all day. As she chopped vegetables, she couldn't help but reflect on Daniel's assurance earlier. She trusted him implicitly, yet something about her recent experiences made her question everything. The hissing sound returned briefly, sharp and startling. Emily froze, gripping the counter. Was it just her imagination? Or was something more sinister at play? Shaking her head, she tried to dismiss the thought. "It's all in your mind," she whispered. But even as she finished cooking and sat down to eat, the doubt lingered. That night, as she watched the sunset from her balcony, she found herself replaying her strange encounters over and over. With her wedding just days away, she wondered if her life was on the verge of an irreversible change and whether she was truly ready for it. Daniel's days grew busier with the upcoming wedding and his responsibilities at work. But Clara's presence added a strange tension. Despite her professionalism during meetings, Her subtle flirtations lingered. One evening, Clara approached Daniel at the end of a long day. "Mr. Daniel, I've been meaning to discuss the upcoming project in more detail," she said. Her tone casual yet intentional. "Of course," Daniel replied, trying to keep things strictly professional. As they sat in his office, Clara leaned in slightly, her voice softer. "I must admit, I find your dedication inspiring. It's rare to see someone so invested in their work and their team." Daniel offered a polite smile, his discomfort growing. "It's part of the job," he said, glancing at his watch. "But it's getting late. We can continue this discussion tomorrow." Clara didn't push further but left with a lingering glance that unsettled him. As Daniel drove home, he tried to push the interaction out of his mind, focusing instead on seeing Emily. Meanwhile, Emily's days were marked by a strange mix of excitement and unease. The wedding was just a week away, and she threw herself into preparations, hoping to drown out the lingering anxiety from her recurring dreams and strange experiences. Despite her efforts, the eerie sensations refused to fade. That evening, as Emily prepared dinner, she found herself staring at her reflection in the kitchen window. For a moment, she thought she saw a shadow behind her, a fleeting image of something slithering. She whipped around, but there was nothing there. Her hands trembled as she tried to steady herself. "This isn't real," she whispered, gripping the counter. "It's just stress." But deep down, Emily felt something was amiss. She resolved to talk to Daniel about it later that evening. When Daniel arrived at Emily's house, her face lit up as she ran to greet him. "My handsome fiancé," she teased, wrapping her arms around him. Daniel chuckled, the warmth of her embrace easing his tension. "You're in a good mood today." "I have to be. Our wedding's just around the corner," Emily replied with a laugh, leading him inside. Over dinner, Emily shared her concerns about the recurring dreams and strange sensations. "I know it sounds ridiculous, but I can't shake the feeling that something's wrong." Daniel reached across the table, taking her hand. "Emily, it's just nerves. Everything's going to be fine. I promise." His reassurance brought her some comfort, but the unease still lingered in the back of her mind. As they settled into bed that night, Daniel's phone rang with an unfamiliar number. "Hello," Daniel answered, his tone wary. "Mr. Daniel, this is Dr. Faye from ProHealth Hospital. Your assistant Clara has been admitted after an asthma attack. She had your contact information on file. We need you here." Daniel sighed, glancing at Emily. "I have to go. It's Clara, she's in the hospital. I'll be back soon." Emily nodded, her heart sinking as the strange hissing sound echoed faintly in her ears once again. As Emily and Daniel's story unfolds, it becomes a gripping tale of love, trust, and the challenges of confronting the unknown. With the shadows of Clara's intentions and Emily's haunting visions looming large, their journey is one of resilience and hope. Will their bond prove strong enough to withstand the trials they face? Or will the secrets unravel everything they've built together? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this captivating narrative, uncovering the truths hidden beneath the surface and exploring the power of love to overcome even the darkest of fears. Thank you for watching Life Stories. Don't forget to subscribe for more incredible tales of love, mystery, and transformation. Like, share, and comment to let us know where you're following from. Until next time, cherish your moments and the connections that make life extraordinary.